Sketch a graph of y equals 2x squared minus 8x plus 6 by finding the x and y intercepts and plotting two additional points. We're actually going to start with the y-intercept because the y-intercept is always the easiest. Remember, the y-intercept occurs when x equals 0. But when x equals 0, this first term and the second term are both 0, so we end up with y equals 6. Remember that the y-intercept always comes from the constant term, so we can plot that already on the xy plane, and we've got our first point without having to do any calculations. Finding the x-intercepts will be a little bit more involved. Remember that the x-intercepts come from setting y equal to 0. So if we do that, we end up with 0 equals 2x squared minus 8x plus 6. And we need to solve this quadratic equation to figure out the values of x. We can do this by factoring. And the first thing we can do is factor out a GCF of 2, because all of these terms are divisible by 2. So that gives us 2 times x squared minus 4x plus 3. And then to factor the leftovers, we can use the unfoiling method. We need two numbers that have a product of 3 and a sum of -4. Those numbers are -1 and -3. Now, to solve, we need to set each of these factors equal to 0. We can set 2 equal to 0, but 2 is never equal to 0, so we can throw that away. That won't give us any solutions. Then we set x minus 1 equal to 0, or x minus 3 equals 0. And when we solve, we end up with x equals 1, or x equals 3. So the x-intercepts are 1 and 3, and we can plot those on the graph right now. We have 3 points on our graph. We also can recognize that this parabola is going to be opening upward, either by looking at these 3 points and recognizing it, or by noticing that the leading coefficient is positive. So we've got an upward opening parabola, and though these 3 points do give us a general idea of the shape, it'll be good to get a couple more points because we don't really know how far down it's going to go. And so by letting x equals 2 and figuring out the corresponding y coordinate, we can figure out what the graph looks like here. And it would also be good to choose x equals 4 to get another point over there. So for our table of values, we're going to let x be 2 and 4, and then we're going to figure out the value of y. If x is 2, then this is going to be 2 times 2 squared minus 8 times 2 plus 6. 2 squared is 4, and then 2 times 4 is 8. So we've got 8 minus 8 times 2 is 16, and then plus 6. 8 minus 16 is -8, and when we add 6 to that, we end up with -2. So that gives us the point 2, comma -2, and I'm going to plot that right now. And then lastly, we can plug in 4. 2 times 4 squared minus 8 times 4 plus 6. 4 squared is 16, and 2 times 16 is 32. So we've got 32 minus 8 times 4 is also 32 plus 6. The 32's cancel, and we're left with 6. So we've got the point 4, comma 6, which goes right here. And those 2 extra points do really give us the ability to draw a much nicer graph than if we didn't have them. And so this is the graph of y equals 2x squared minus 8x plus 6. And we're good to go.